Hi, I'm Matt Kim with IGN, and I'm here at Summer Game Fest Playdays, and I'm here with Mitchell Saltzman, and we just played Street Fighter 6. Mitchell, you're a fighting game expert. What'd you think about all the changes?
Oh man, I think it's awesome. Street Fighter 6 is legit. It does so much different, Matt. There's so much new about Street Fighter 6 compared to previous games, and yet at the same time, it kind of takes a lot of the mechanics from previous games. There's elements of the parry system from Street Fighter 3. There's elements of the focus attack from Street Fighter 4. There's a V reversal kind of system from Street Fighter 5. And it kind of combines it all into this drive system. And the way it works is that rather than building up a meter as you play through a match, you have all of your meter right at the start. And it kind of slowly regains as the match goes on. There's ways to get it back. But if you run out of it, then you're in this blowback, I forgot. It's called burnout state, I think, where if you get hit by a specific attack, you get stunned, and it's just real bad all around. It's super interesting. It looks beautiful. There's all kinds of fun little touches where you can make faces in the versus screen. It's just, I'm in love. I'm in love, Matt.
The faces at the beginning is a little Soul Calibur-esque.
Yeah, definitely. It's like Ryu almost looks like Mitsurugi, so there's that. But I wanted to actually ask you, because one of the big things about Street Fighter 6 is that they have this dual control scheme thing, where there's the classic control scheme, and it's 6 buttons. It's just like, Street Fighters of old. But then there's also this modern control scheme, which makes it so that every strength of attack is on one button, and then there's a special button, and you can do different attacks by just pressing a direction in one of those buttons. So what did you think about that?
Yeah, so they call it modern control scheme, and it really is like a simplified version about it. And I'm not new to fighting games, but I'm no expert, right? Like I can do directionals, I can do the quarter circle turns, but having played the modern control schemes, I can definitely see how it can get people into Street Fighter 6. Once it's super simple, you hold down the R2 button and you press square, triangle, circle, right? And you can just start doing all these really cool combos. And it really just shows you that wow, playing fighting games is rad. It's super fun, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the perfect sort of training wheels, I think, because once you do it, it does get a little repetitive. It is a little too simple, I think, and what it does is it makes you excited to try and do these things on your own at the next level. And so what I think is it's not meant to replace the classic control schemes, and I don't really think that's going to be viable at esports campaigns or esports tournaments or anything like that. But what it does is it gets people excited. It lets you see, oh wow, these are all the cool things that I can do once I learn the mechanics proper, and it really gets people started on that path to learning fighting games.
What I love about it is that playing fighting games growing up, there's all these people that are like, oh yeah, I could beat you if I knew the combos that you knew. And what I love about the modern control scheme is that it goes beyond just there being an auto combo.
Yeah.
Everyone will know how to use a character on a base level when they're using this control scheme, because they'll know how to do every special move. They'll know how to do a basic combo. They'll know how to do a slightly more advanced combo that you can use that's like a punish. So it really allows you to focus on the fundamentals of neutral and spacing, and focusing on anti-airs. So in that way, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And I was actually talking to one of the developers about it, and they said that they don't really envision it as you start with the modern and then you graduate to the classic. They foresee people who play on modern just enjoying playing the game on modern, and they'll stick with that throughout their entire Street Fighter experience.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You can totally do that. The one drawback to using the modern control scheme is that you don't have the full set of attacks, because you only have one light, you only have one medium, you only have one fierce attack. Whereas, on the other side of it, the classic control scheme, you have all 6 of those buttons. So there's a really good thought process to the design split of the modern and the classic control scheme.
Yeah, and that's absolutely interesting that that's what the developer's saying, because I played it and I definitely was like, oh, this is a great way to step into the game, But I can see how they've got a new adventure mode coming out, where you can explore the world and things like that. I definitely see people who are casual into fighting games, who might not want to dive super deep into it, but they want to explore the world that's going to be in the game, right? And they can do it all with the modern control schemes. And for me, I think the most helpful thing about playing any fighting game is I see the names of the fighting moves, but sometimes you don't really know what it looks like. And so being able to associate a name of a fighting move, do the modern control way and like look at it and see it in action, and then sort of do it in the classic way, I think is all a real like nice ramp. You
Yeah,
know?
one thing I also want to point out real quick is that the command list for Street Fighter 6 takes a cue from Guilty Gear Strive, where every move has like a video demo, so you can kind of see what the move looks like, you can see what it's used for. It's just, it's so good.
Yep.
Fighting games are getting so much better, and I'm just so happy to see the evolution.
So Mitchell, there were a couple new characters in Street Fighter 6 that we got to try out. We got to try out Jamie, who's super new, and Luke, who was the final DLC character of Street Fighter 5 and sort of lead in into Street Fighter 6. Anything, any thoughts on the new characters?
So Jamie's super interesting because he actually has this mechanic where you can take a swig of his bottle or whatever, and as you get more and more drunk, basically, his moves change and become a little more powerful. There's actually a super move you can use that immediately gets you to that max drunk state, and he becomes a monster when he's got all those charges on his drink meter.
Yeah.
He's a little tricky to use in terms of like, you know, going into a demo and having to figure things out for yourself. I would love to have a training mode and have like maybe 30 minutes with him. But he seems really cool. I think he's an awesome new addition. And Luke's just a beast. Luke, he's so good. He's top tier in Street Fighter 5. I think he's going to be really good in this game. I was a big fan of using Ryu. Ryu largely feels the same, but he has a couple of different, he has a new target combo. One thing we gotta say, the animations of this game are phenomenal.
No,
Like,
top notch.
Top notch. It's amazing. Like when you block an attack, like you physically recoil, and you feel like the impact of every hit, regardless of whether it actually lands or not. So yeah, just I can't say enough good things about Street Fighter 6.
I mean, a little briefly, right? Like Ryu's back, Chun-Li's back. They
Yeah.
got some redesigns. What do you like? Do you like their new looks? I do.
Oh my god, yeah. I think Chun-Li looks the best she's ever looked. You know, Chun-Li has come a long way from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Let's just say that.
Yeah, she's now an elder statesman of the game, and
Yeah.
it shows, and it's great.
Exactly. And like Ryu's got the little, you know, kind of
That wandering warrior sash.
He looks more like Goken, his master. It's just everything about it. I'm so excited for it.
Well, that was Street Fighter 6, and for everything else at Summer Game Fest Playdays, keep it here at IGN.
This is our destiny.
My secret art, Shoryuken! Street Fighter 6.